Well, I have to ask you because I know we saw you at The Simpsons, and that was something where you were taking something that you were given, a cartoon, a lot of source material, and you had to kind of adhere to that while also being creative. Whereas here, it seems like you had a lot of creativity within Mexican cuisine. So how does that feel to have, work on a project that's pretty strictly controlled and then to kind of have free reign?
Well, that's a really good question, actually. When we worked on The Simpsons, obviously we had to work within the scope of that. But when we came out here, it was all about developing a restaurant that, as we spoke about earlier, that we were going to try to create a Mexican cuisine restaurant where we were going to be able to deal with palates of people from all over the world that come to visit us at Universal Orlando and present to them what we thought was a good Mexican meal. Whether you call it authentic or just good quality, whatever words you want to use, that they were going to leave and they said, I had a wonderful meal in Antojitos and I want to go back. So here, no real borders on it except just trying to create cuisine that represents Mexico, what you would find at a little street corner restaurant or from a cart somewhere, or possibly in a nice restaurant in a nice fine dining location, that sort of thing. Tried to hit on that whole scope. And the first thing we did was try to bring in as many ingredients predominant to those areas. Then we also tried to take a look at the regions and try to see if we could incorporate some of the flavors and some of the cooking of the regions to bring the scope of it all together. And whether it is the Pueblo rice that we created, which doesn't look like that typical orange rice you see in a Mexican restaurant, we created a Pueblo rice kind of from the Pueblo region of Mexico, made with all different herbs, including poblano peppers, romaine lettuce, and cilantro. We created that, or taking the street food of the esquite, but instead of leaving it on the husk, taking it off the husk and doing it in a little bit different style. And those type of things we tried to do to give some authenticity, not to give authenticity, but to focus on the authenticity, but to give it a little bit of creativeness to it.
Very good. And also now CityWalk is outside of the parks, of course, and so you have families coming back and forth from the parks, and then you've also got the party crowd that likes to come to CityWalk. So is that kind of like, you have street food downstairs, a little more fine dining upstairs? Was that to kind of cater to that? So really you're hitting that whole audience that would actually potentially be in CityWalk?
Yeah, we wanted to be able to, you put it well. I mean, families leaving the park at the end of the day and they want to have a meal so that when they get back to the hotel they can just, relax and rest for the next day and come back again. Offering them kind of very recognizable traditional Mexican cuisine like burritos and tacos and vegetarian dishes for vegetarians and all of those type of things downstairs in a casual setting, so the children if the children are a little restless or whatever, everything kind of goes together. Up here a little more refined. Maybe it's Friday night out, it's my birthday, it's a little celebration, or it's just, let's take it up a level and let's see what Antojitos can do with a little something finer. So offering kind of the best of both worlds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you've really done that, because I've tried some of the things, and it seems like even the appetizers, like this is a great place to come for a full meal, or just come sample a bunch of appetizers, and that could be your meal.
Oh yeah, you could definitely just graze on appetizers and get filled up. We tried to do that because we really wanted, particularly downstairs, to be that kind of atmosphere. 5, 6, or 7 different things for a group of 8 people, and everybody starts sharing, having a cocktail, and just have a nice party kind of atmosphere and a lot of fun, yeah.
And if people, let's say somebody came and they could only choose one thing on the menu, what would you tell them? I know that's really hard. What would be the one, or maybe 2, no-miss items, if they could only do one?
Oh my goodness.
They're here on vacation for one day.
Up here, I would, if I'm a meat eater, I would definitely try either the carne asada steak or the short ribs Jalisco. Those are 2 fabulous meals up here. If you're more into seafood, the Menonita shrimp would be a great choice up here. or the fish of the day, which this week happens to be a beautiful red snapper with a pistachio crema and kind of a braised shark. But those dishes downstairs, you can't go wrong with any of the tacos. The carne asada taco, excuse me, the pastor taco. That's a great taco downstairs. The large burritos are wonderful. I think the tamale fritters and the esquite, I think great dishes. I can't pick one, okay? But I think all of those dishes would be great ways to go.
Gotcha. All right. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. My pleasure.